Hi everyone, this is John Wen. Today is November 4th, 2020. In today's video, I'm going to go through the research updates since the past week. As you can see, I was working on the deep learning workflow from the past week. The estimated progress is about 3%. If we get into the details, we can see that the first item is basically I was trying to compile the CUDA code into the DLL and called from the Java. So I was encountered some error from the past week when I was running it in the Eclipse when I trying to call the DLL from the Java code. I was getting the error is about unsatisfied link error, and this is a very common error, and I spent a amount of time of debugging, and finally I fixed this error by introducing another header into the CUDA file. So I hope to point out I didn't find any specific tutorial that is calling the CUDA from the Java, but basically I was trying to inference by calling from the Java to calling the C++ code from the Java, and I was thinking about maybe I should add another header file, so I just trial and error, and I finally figured out I indeed need another header file. So maybe I can show you the code. Basically, I was trying to running a very simple CUDA code, which is going to be very simple, and that just to use a kernel to print out how many kernels we want to launch. So basically this is a repository, and as you can see the main file is CUDA main.java. So this is file which is going to call which is going to borrow the DLL from this repository, and then will be we'll use this method as a native method, which is a wrapper, and then I will call that wrapper in the main class, main method. So this is a basic idea. So the first thing I have to do is to compile this main.java, CUDA main.java. That is what I missed from the past week. So if we do the compilation, which is going to be the javac CUDA main Java. So this will give us a CUDA main class. So you will see this CUDA main.class is generated, and the next step is we're going to generate the headers file for the CUDA. For this class file. So what I will do is CUDA Java H, which is going to generate a header file for us. So if we see, we will have the header file, which is CUDA main.header. So if we take a look at the CUDA main.h, we are going to see the header. So several things we need to change because I don't know how to configure the MVCC, which is a NVIDIA compiler, the compiler repository. So this GenI.h is always not be found. So I have to specify with the actual repository that's reside in my computer. So this is one thing I have to do. And the second thing is this part I have to copy to the CUDA file. So if you take a look at the CUDA file, which will give you clear what I said. So I have to comment out the original method from the CUDA method, and then I will replace that method name by this one. So this one will be the final name that is called from the JUnI. And also I have to include the CUDA DLL.header as well as the CUDA main.header into this CUDA code. So what's the next step is basically I will include these two, and next step is I will compile the CUDA code, which is going to be using the MVCC and to compile the, and this method or this call will be included in this CUDA DLL exports, which is included in the CUDA DLL.header file. So that is one thing we introduced in the last video, and this one we will be output to the CUDA main.dll, and as well as the main. This is the original file. So after we do this, we will get a compiled. Okay. Oh, I see. So that's why I say we have to cannot open the GNI.h because we just compiled that. So let's open that one. So if we take a look at the code, let's pull this up, and we will see that. So from the CUDA file, which were including sorry, I think should be another header file. So it should be this one. So here we have to include as the repository that's from my computer directly. So let's do this. So I think that should be fine right now. The header file should be okay. So let's try it again. So if we try to compile it again, great. As you can see, already we have this CUDA main.lib already available, as well as a EXP, and at the same time the DLL will be generated. So the last step is to call this CUDA main.java, sorry, CUDA main.class file. So let's do the Java CUDA main, and if we do this, and we will see this kernel has been successfully called. So I also copy the code, sorry, I also copy the DLL file into the CUDA main in the Eclipse, which is going to run successfully as well. So if you take a look, and we are able to directly launch the DLL, which is a CUDA DLL, and called from the Java, or called from the Java Eclipse. So I think that's pretty nice progress. I think at least we know we are able to calling the GNI and calling the CUDA code from this way. So I think that's a kind of way we can move step by step. So the next plan is going to I'm working on some simple CUDA code or more complex neural networker in the CUDA. So I'm trying to configure that as well in the same way and try to run that in the Eclipse. But right now I haven't finished that yet. So hopefully by the next week or the week after, I can have something output, so we can running some method, or we can running some tasks from the Eclipse to call the CUDA. So I think that's pretty much for the updates of today, of this week. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you can enjoy this video. Until next time, happy coding.